Today we are beginning our unit for geometry, and some of our focuses here are going to be learning different vocabulary for shape names and 3D shapes and some volume measurements. But we're going to start off fairly straightforward. We're going to be focusing on polygons for this first lesson. So our goal is going to be to distinguish what is a polygon and what isn't a polygon. So we're going to learn more about that vocabulary term and what distinctions it has. So, a polygon is a closed figure made up of line segments that don't cross each other. So when you say line, it technically means a line goes on forever. So a line segment, it just means a line with some end points. So here's some examples of a polygon. We've got a regular rectangle, and a right triangle, kind of this funky shape. It doesn't really have, it's not a regular shape, but it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides, so a pentagon, and 1, 2, 3, 4, another quadrilateral. So these are all polygons. These here are an example of not polygons, and we'll describe why they're not. This one doesn't have multiple line segments, it's just one curve and got curves. This one is not closed, it's not all connected, it's like you can pour things into it basically. This one also has curves. It does have nice line segments, but it has curves to it, and that's not part of the polygon. And then this one, the lines cross. So, the building shown is the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. Describe the sides of the figure formed by the red outline. Does the red outline form a polygon? So, the first thing it wants us to figure out, the figure has blank sides. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's 5 sides. Do the sides ever cross each other? No, I'm not seeing any of the sides run into each other the way that this one is crossing. So I'm going to say no. A regular polygon with congruent sides and congruent angles. So if it's regular, that means that all the sides are sort of like, not exactly equal, but or congruent sides, that means they're equal in length. So they're equal. And congruent angles have the same degree. So the same angle here is the same as here, is the same as here, is the same as here. So, shape number 2. So this is a pentagon. It's a regular pentagon. All the sides look like they're the same length. I don't have a protractor on me, but all the angles look like they're equal. Determine if the polygon appears to be regular or not regular. So the top and the bottom sides appear to be longer than the other sides. So this here looks like it's longer than this. So are all 6 sides congruent? No. So it is not regular because this top and bottom side, at least to me, it looks like it's longer. So I would call this a not regular shape. All right. So then we're going to classify some different types of polygons. And this classification is going to really help you. So I want you to use this page as a reference. So we have 2 triangles. One's regular, one's not regular. And they want us to count the number of sides. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Both have 3 sides. And then they want us to draw another one that's not regular, which means the angles aren't the same and the length of the lines aren't the same. So I'm going to draw a triangle where one side is really short and the other 2 sides are long. We've got a big angle down here, a right angle, and a smaller angle over here. Your triangle can look different, but it does need to have 3 sides to still be a triangle. Quadrilaterals, that includes squares and rectangles and rhombuses. So that has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. A square is a regular quadrilateral. And not regular right here because you can see the angles aren't the same. This angle is much smaller than this angle, although the sides do look congruent, but the angles are not congruent. And congruent is just a fancy word that says the same. So there's 4 sides. And I'm going to draw myself a really funky quadrilateral. It's definitely not congruent, but it does have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides as well. Pentagon, so this might be one you're a little bit less familiar with. Pentagon, penta means 5, So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides here. You can go with something like this. You can go, as long as you close the figure, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can go with whatever funky shape you want for our not regular. So the sides just can't be the same length and the angles can't be the same. I'll clear that up, make sure that's clearly 2 separate lines. Okay. Hexagon. Hexa, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these are all the same length and same angle. That's a regular hexagon. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also 6 sides. But this angle is way different than that angle. These sides are definitely longer, not congruent. So I make a shape. Doesn't really matter what the shape is. We want it not to be regular. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I don't care what your shape looks like, as long as it has 6 sides. So it's a hexagon of some type, but not a regular one. Lastly, octagon. Octa means 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sometimes if you're having trouble counting a shape like this, sometimes I make marks on the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'm short. I forgot to count these sides. 7 and 8. So you can make sure that every side has a little dash in it, and I've counted them all. So finally I'm going to make one more not regular, not congruent sides, not congruent angles. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like that. But it is still a polygon. I didn't cross any of my lines. It's a closed shape. You've got to make sure you follow those polygon rules. I'm doing straight sides. I'm not doing any curves. So for all of these, they need to have those polygon characteristics. Okay, I want you to pause the video and try out this problem. And then when you're ready, start the video back up again. All right, go ahead and, are you ready? Okay, so we're going to name this polygon, determine if it's regular or not regular. So to name it, we're going to start by counting the sides. And I'm going to use my little dash line technique. Or maybe just put a dot next to each one. 1, 2, because this line, technically these dash lines have a particular meaning in math, although you probably won't get to that till about 8th grade or so. But anyway, I'll put dots next to mine so I don't confuse any parents out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it has 8 sides, and if you forgot what word goes with that, you can go back to this chart. This is a great reference chart for this lesson. So 8 means it's an octagon. The sides appear to be equal. Or you can use our nice word congruent. And if you forgot how to spell it, you go back here. Congruent. So it's, I'll put a slash. Congruent. So this is a regular, because all the sides and the angles appear to be congruent. And we said 8 is an octagon, so it's a regular octagon. So I'd like you to try out the problems on the next page, and I'll have a link in the description to some of the answers to the problems so you can check your work after you've already tried it.